In the early morning hours of December 26, 2020, an 18-year-old college freshman sat in a parked car on a quiet Michigan street. Nothing unusual, nothing dangerous. But in the shadows, two figures were already moving toward her, calm, steady, and armed. What happened next was caught on camera, yet nearly 5 years later, the shooters remain ghosts. How does a murder recorded on video stay unsolved, and who were the two people who walked up to that car? Tonight, we're stepping back into the darkness. This is the story of Casey Willis. Before that night, Casey wasn't a headline, she was a life full of potential. A freshman at Wayne State University, she worked at Foot Locker and volunteered with Alternatives for Girls, mentoring young women who needed support and guidance. Those who knew her describe her as warm, focused, and grounded, 18 years old and already making a difference. On that morning, around 1:55 a.m., Casey sat talking with a friend in his car on Cardone Street in Highland Park, Michigan. Then two individuals appeared on a nearby surveillance camera. They were moving with intention. One carried what police later described as a long gun. They walked calmly up to the car, paused, and then opened fire. Casey was struck multiple times. Her friend survived. He was traumatized, but alive. The attackers turned and vanished into the night. Neighbors later said they didn't hear yelling, just gunshots and then silence. Police responded within minutes. They pulled the surveillance footage, they canvassed the area. Crime Stoppers posted a $10,500 reward. But even with video evidence, the leads failed. No one was identified, no tips pointed to a suspect, no one stepped forward with information. Casey's mother, Carol Bush, pleaded publicly, asking anyone who knew anything to speak, even anonymously. Vigils were held, friends grieved, co-workers honored her, and slowly, painfully, the case stalled. Nearly 5 years later, it remains open and cold. So why hasn't the case been solved? Was it a targeted attack? A mistaken identity? Was someone waiting for that moment, or was it an ambush that made no sense at all? Or does someone in that neighborhood know the truth but hasn't come forward? Because sometimes the evidence isn't the problem. Sometimes it's fear, or loyalty, or silence. Casey's death shattered her family's world. A promising student, a dedicated volunteer, a daughter with a bright path ahead, just gone. Her mother continues to seek justice, not for closure alone, but for accountability. Her memory lives on in the community she cared for, a reminder that life can change in seconds and that the worst crimes are the ones that leave no answers behind. So let me ask you this. What if someone knows exactly who those two individuals were? What if the person who pulled the trigger walked away that night and someone recognized them but chose silence? If you have any information, even something small, Crime Stoppers allows anonymous tips. Your voice could be the one that finally brings justice to Casey's family. This has been another episode of Kissy Uncovers, the Crime Chronicles, where silence meets storytelling and justice still has a chance. Because every name deserves to be spoken and every story told. Until next time, friends, stay safe, stay aware, and keep listening for the truth.